In this video, I'm going to talk about my top 3 purchase recommendations when getting back to fitness. Hi, I'm Sandra, and on my channel, I design workouts for age 50 plus based on my background in rehabilitation, my work as a personal trainer and fitness instructor, and as an over 50 exerciser myself. Often older adults can look back on a time when we were more active. We might have played sports or part of a yoga class, part of a running group. And then sometimes months or years go by and we realize that we're not being as active as we used to be. And things like medical diagnosis, aches and pains, just realizing the importance of exercise can make us think it's time to get back to a fitness program. These are the things that I would recommend spending money on, and I'll also discuss some, I'll put in quotation, mistakes. They're not really mistakes, but things that might be more of a waste of money or be more demotivating getting back to fitness. Recommendation number 1, running shoes. Whether you're working out at home, indoors, outdoors, at a gym, having some good quality, supportive, cushioning running shoes is going to go a long way to the success of your fitness routine, your fitness plan. Wearing old or worn out running shoes can result in sore feet or even worse, injury, which will derail the plan to get back to fitness. Those running shoes that are in your closet that you've had for 5 or 10 years that you've been wearing for walks and going grocery shopping are likely worn down. So the first thing that I recommend people do is go out and buy a pair of new running shoes. And then the question I often get is, well, what running shoes do I wear? Or they'll ask their friend or people in their family, what running shoes do you wear? I'm going to go buy the same ones. And although it's good to talk to people and get input from people that you trust, running shoes, fitness shoes are very individual. So when you go shopping, go with an open mind. I will share that I'm really happy right now with Hoka brand. I've also had Brooks runners that I've really loved. This video is not sponsored. Anything I suggest is my true opinion, but I will link anything I talk about down below if you want to check out more. When buying running shoes, very important to find a good store with knowledgeable salespeople. Often running stores, even if you don't plan on running at all, but running stores will have knowledgeable staff, or you can look for more specialty fitness stores to buy your shoes. You'll know you're in the right place when the salesperson takes the time to ask you about what activities you plan to do, any issues you've had in the past, maybe looks at the shoes you're wearing, looks at your gait, and just takes the time and then brings you more than one, and then brings you 2 or 3 or 4 different types of shoes to try on, walk around the store, take your time to compare, make sure you're getting the right shoe. And bonus tip while you're in there buying your shoes, get a pair of good fitting athletic socks. Mistakes I've seen people make when it comes to buying running shoes. One is wearing those old 10-year-old running shoes that don't have any cushioning left, that aren't supportive. Second thing is deciding that your best friend loves this pair, you're going to buy the exact same ones. Another mistake is you go in the store and you're determined you only want gray running shoes or pink, or making a choice based on fashion, based on color, and also making a decision based on what's on sale. That's a good strategy for other things, not so much for running shoes. The second item I would recommend purchasing when getting back to fitness is resistance bands. The reason I recommend resistance bands is they're inexpensive, small, you can fold them up, store them in a drawer. Resistance bands are a great addition to your home workout routine. Adding resistance as we get older is important because our muscles naturally atrophy, we naturally lose strength as we age if we don't exercise, if we don't add resistance, but we can combat that by doing those kinds of exercises. Resistance bands often come in packs of 3 or 4, so you can choose the resistance that works for you. I'll link a couple of options in the description below, so you could check that out. I also have some workouts on my channel where we use a resistance band, so I'll link those here. Mistakes I see people make when they're starting back to fitness, when it comes to buying equipment for home workouts. Number one is spending a lot of money on big ticket items. Think treadmill, that a few months later people say, oh, I have a really expensive clothes drying rack, and there's their treadmill with, you know, coats and other things just like hanging off of it. Mistake number 2 when it comes to equipment is being too aspirational. So you want to buy a dumbbell, but you're going to buy a heavier weight than what you could really use right now, thinking as I get stronger, I'm going to want that dumbbell. And this is going to either result in it being a waste of money because you don't use it, or it's going to result in an injury. Another mistake when it comes to buying equipment is following trends. You might see on social media, or again, just talking to friends and family, hearing about the trending fitness equipment, and it may be great, and maybe down the road you are going to buy that. But I would start with the basics. Think about when we talk about nutrition, the basics are drink more water, eat vegetables, eat high quality protein, and those things don't go in and out of style. And it's the same with fitness. The things that don't go in and out of style is it's good to get outside and go for a walk. When you do a workout, you should gradually warm up and then you should cool down at the end. And equipment that is great to use are things like resistance bands, dumbbells, and yoga mats. And that brings me to recommendation number 3, is a yoga mat. I really love my mat, and I will link my review of the Lululemon The Mat 5mm. I'll link it up here. That's the mat that I use, and I really love that mat. But you don't have to start expensive. You could get a less expensive mat just to make sure that you do enjoy those kind of exercises, whether it's yoga, Pilates, stretches on the mat. And this is another great thing just to have at home. You roll out your mat, get down on the mat, and it's very functional. Even getting down to the mat, getting back up, moving on the mat helps us as we're aging continue to be able to do all those moves. And then once you're on the mat, there's so many exercises that are great for core strengthening, back strengthening, flexibility, body alignment. So that's my number 3 recommendation, is yoga mat. So just quickly to review, and then I'll give you a couple bonus tips getting started back to fitness. Purchase recommendations, good quality running shoes. Most of the budget goes to the running shoes. And then beyond that, a pack of resistance band and a yoga mat, and you're set. You may never need to buy anything else, other than you will need to replace your running shoes, depending how often you use them, maybe once a year, once every couple of years maximum. So my bonus tips. Getting back to fitness, I recommend exercising every day. I know that's a little bit controversial, but exercising doesn't mean that you have to go to the gym and do a 1-hour workout. Plan out your week. Maybe Monday you're going for a 20-minute walk. Tuesday you're going to do a 1-hour yoga class on YouTube. Wednesday you're going to do 10 minutes of stretching, etc. So it can really vary from each day as to your activity and how long you're going to do it. But wake up every morning and think, what activity am I going to do today? You might love gardening, and so that could be one of the days of the week I'm going to spend a couple hours out in the garden, and I would consider that your exercise for that day. And the reason I say exercise every day is when you're getting back to fitness, it's not a habit yet. So if we just do something every day, soon it becomes a habit. And then maybe you plan those, 4 days a week of exercise with your rest days once you have developed those habits. My second tip getting back to exercise, and this is probably the most important tip, is take time to think about why you want to exercise. Is it that you love golfing and you want to be able to continue golfing? Is it that you are planning to travel and you want to be able to walk around cities? Do you have a new diagnosis and you know that exercise is going to be really important to help with managing your symptoms? Mental health can be improved with exercise. There's so many reasons. So it's very individual. That's why I say just take the time to really think about what does it mean to me to get back to fitness. And I even encourage you to write it down, whether it's in a journal or a sticky note. You could put exercise equals golf or whatever your reason is, and then put that on the mirror and look at it every morning like, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing this. Comment below. Let me know, what kind of running shoes do you like? What home equipment do you already have? What are you planning to buy? Any other suggestions in this community? Let's support each other as we are taking care of our health. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe.